All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive on something pretty exciting, I think, real estate in Koh Samui, Thailand.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and we're going to be focusing on what you need to know if you are a foreign buyer.
Okay.
And we are going to be looking at an article from Ocean Worldwide.
Interesting.
They are a luxury real estate agency that's been based in Phuket since 2004.
Oh, wow. Phuket. Okay.
Yeah, and it's Phuket, not Phuket.
Phuket. Got it.
So just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah.
And this agency is run by Sandra O'Neill.
Okay.
And she's been the director there for a very long time and has helped thousands of families and property investors over the years.
That's great.
Yeah, so Ocean Worldwide focuses specifically on luxury residential real estate in Phuket, like we said, Phuket, and Koh Samui.
Nice.
So they don't definitely know what they're talking about.
They should.
So right off the bat, this article tells us that foreigners can't directly own land in Thailand.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is a bit of a surprise. You know, I think a lot of people probably aren't aware of that.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really aware of that either.
Right.
So it's kind of a shock, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's important to know why this law is in place, right?
Yeah.
It's about Thailand wanting to control land ownership and protect its own national interests,
Yeah, it makes sense.
safeguarding their heritage.
Mm-hmm.
But don't worry, there are still ways that you can secure property in Thailand.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So what are those options? Well, the article mentions condos as like the most straightforward one.
Oh, okay. Condos, all right.
Yeah, so the Thai Condominium Act allows foreigners to actually own condo units outright
Really?
with a freehold title.
What?
So you actually own it permanently,
Okay.
which is a rare opportunity for
Yeah,
foreigners
yeah.
in Thailand.
So that sounds like a pretty good option.
Yeah, like if you want to have that like balcony overlooking the ocean,
Right.
a condo sounds like a good place to start.
Yeah.
But then the article mentions this 49% rule.
Oh, what's up?
So this rule means that foreigners can only own up to 49% of the units in any given development.
Okay.
So the remaining 51% has to be owned by Thai nationals.
Okay. So it's got to be balanced out.
Yeah, it's a way to balance foreign investment with, making sure that Thai nationals have ownership as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what about like building a villa?
Oh, yeah.
The article talks about leaseholds.
Right.
So what does that mean?
Yeah, how does that work?
Yeah.
With the land?
Exactly.
Okay, so leaseholds basically give you the right to use the land,
Okay.
but not actually own it
Right.
for a set period of time. And in Thailand, that can be up to 90 years.
Wow, 90 years. That's amazing.
It is.
That's almost a lifetime.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So you own whatever structures you build on that land.
Okay.
So your dream villa is still achievable even if you don't technically own the land itself.
That's good to know.
Yeah, but those lease agreements, I imagine you really have to look at those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You've got to be really careful with those.
What are some of the things that you need to look out for?
Well, you need to understand all those renewal terms.
Right.
And your legal protections as a lessee.
Right.
I mean, it's really crucial to have a lawyer in this situation.
Yeah, someone who knows Thai property law.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Someone who can make sure you're protected.
Now, the article mentions Thai limited companies as another more complex route.
Oh.
So is this even a viable option?
Well, it can be, but it's definitely a bit more tricky.
Yeah.
So basically the idea is that the company owns the land,
Okay.
and you as a foreigner can own up to 49% of the company's shares.
Okay.
The remaining 51% needs to be held by Thai partners.
Oh, okay. So you need to find a Thai partner.
Yeah, you need to find someone who's reliable and trustworthy.
Right. And who's going to be a good partner, basically.
Exactly. And that can be the tricky part.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that could go wrong with this kind of setup?
Well, the Thai government has been cracking down on companies that are set up just to bypass these ownership laws.
Oh, so it can't just be a fake company.
Right, exactly. It
Yeah.
has to be a legitimate business. So
Wow.
you've got to make sure everything's above board.
Transparency is key.
Exactly.
So you can need a good lawyer for this one, too.
Oh, for sure. You'll need a good lawyer and a really good team that you trust.
So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about zoning laws.
Okay, zoning laws, yeah.
How do those affect what you can actually build
Right, good question.
in Koh Samui?
So zoning regulations are super important in Koh Samui.
Okay.
They have designated zones for different types of development. Like you can have a zone for villas or a zone for condos.
Oh, okay.
And imagine, you fall in love with this amazing beachfront plot,
Right.
but then you find out, oh, you actually can't build your dream house there because it's not zoned for that.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Yeah, it would be a nightmare.
So you really need to know these zones
Absolutely.
before you even think about what you want to build.
Yeah, before you make any decisions, you need to understand the zoning.
And along the beachfront, are there like extra rules?
Yeah, the beachfront has even stricter regulations because they want to protect the natural beauty.
Right.
So, for example, you can't build within 10 meters of the beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then there are also restrictions on building heights and stuff.
So you can't just build like a massive skyscraper on the beach.
No, definitely not.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, the article mentions something that I think a lot of people might assume,
What's that?
that if you marry a Thai citizen, you can then own property.
Oh, yeah, a lot of people think that.
Right.
Is that true?
Unfortunately, it's not that simple.
Okay.
While a Thai spouse can own land, the foreign spouse actually has to officially waive any claims to the land.
Oh, wow.
So the property remains solely under the Thai spouse's name.
So it doesn't actually help you
Yeah.
if you're the foreigner.
Right. It's not a shortcut.
Got it.
So,
Wow. So it sounds like no matter what you do,
yeah.
you really need to understand the law.
You need to understand the legal complexities.
Yeah.
And it's not just about buying the property. It's about what happens, down the line.
Right. What if you want to sell it?
Exactly. What if you get divorced?
Exactly. All those kinds of things.
So, yeah,
You've got to think long term.
we've uncovered like a major truth here that buying property in Koh Samui, it's possible,
Yeah.
but it's not simple.
No, it's not as easy as just picking a spot and building a house.
Right. You need to do your research
Exactly.
and be prepared to navigate some legal complexities.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of like the overview.
All right. So what's next?
And in the next part, we're going to delve deeper into each ownership option
Okay, great.
and explore all that's like intricate details.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to it.
So stay tuned.
All right. Welcome back.
All right. So we've kind of gone over the options,
Yeah.
but let's get into like the specifics a bit more.
Okay.
So we have the three main options: condos, leaseholds, and Thai limited companies.
Right.
Each of those has its own rules and considerations.
Exactly.
So let's start with condos.
Right. Condos.
What are like the good things about condos?
Well, I think a big advantage with condos is the freehold ownership,
Right.
especially for foreigners.
You get the title deed.
Yeah, you get that deed in your name, gives
Mhm.
you full ownership of the unit.
And that's not super common in Thailand, is it?
No, it's pretty rare for foreigners to have that kind of ownership in Thailand.
Right. So that's a big plus.
Yeah, it gives you a sense of security.
Yeah. Peace of
I
mind.
find.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
I imagine there are some downsides.
Of course.
What are some of those?
Well, you're buying into a development,
Right.
which means you have to follow the rules of the condo association.
Oh, right.
Think about things like noise restrictions, pet policies.
Oh, yeah, the HOA.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And you'll have shared amenities, common areas.
Yeah,
Which can be great, meet people,
right.
but it also means less privacy,
So if you're someone who wants to, like, blast their music all night,
right? Or have like a bunch of pets. Yeah, condo might not be the best fit.
maybe not.
Right.
But then if you're looking for more autonomy,
Right.
leaseholds offer a different kind of freedom.
Okay.
You don't own the land,
Right.
but you have the right to use it and build on it.
Right. For 90 years?
Yeah, for that extended period, up to 90 years.
That's a really long time.
It is.
So what are some of the other good things about going with a leasehold?
Well, it's a great option for people who want to create their own unique space,
Okay.
like a custom designed villa, a beautiful garden,
Yeah.
even a small business, something that's really yours.
And you own the structure.
Yes.
You own the structure itself.
Right. So if you want to sell it later,
Yeah.
you're selling the building, not just the lease.
Right. That's a really important distinction.
Okay, but leaseholds, they sound great,
Yeah.
but they must have some downsides.
They do. They definitely come with complexities.
What are some of the things that people should watch out for?
The lease agreement is so important.
You have to scrutinize every detail.
Really read the fine print.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You need to know the renewal terms, any potential for extension. What happens if the landowner wants to sell?
Yeah.
You don't want to be caught off guard.
Right. You want to make sure that your rights are protected.
Exactly, no matter what happens in the future.
Okay, so it sounds like a lawyer is a good idea.
Oh, yeah, a lawyer is essential in this situation.
Someone who knows leaseholds.
Absolutely. Someone who can really understand that agreement and make sure you're protected.
Now, the last option is the one that the article said was the most complex, the Thai limited companies.
Right. That one's a bit more tricky.
So when does this approach actually make sense?
Well, it's really for people who are in it for the long haul,
Okay.
people with a high risk tolerance,
Okay.
and who want more control than the other options offer.
Okay, so maybe they're thinking about like a legacy property.
Exactly, something they can pass down
Okay.
or, really build something special.
What are the potential problems with this approach?
Well, transparency is key.
Okay.
The company has to be set up for legitimate business reasons.
Right, not just to get around the law.
Exactly. The Thai government is cracking down on that.
Okay, so that's important.
And then the shareholder agreement.
Right.
That needs to be really carefully reviewed.
What is a shareholder agreement?
It basically outlines everyone's rights and responsibilities.
Oh, wait.
So everyone knows what they're getting into.
Right, so there are no, like, surprises down the line.
Exactly. You want to avoid any potential disputes.
Right, so what's the most important thing to think about when you're doing this Thai limited company?
Choosing your Thai partners.
Oh, right.
That's absolutely crucial.
You're basically going into business with them.
You are. It's a partnership.
So you need to find someone who's...
Who is trustworthy, reliable, financially stable.
Right, someone you can work with.
Exactly, someone who shares your vision for the property.
So it's a big decision.
It is a big commitment.
It sounds like it's a lot more risky than the other options.
It definitely has a higher level of risk and complexity.
So for a lot of people, condos or leaseholds are probably a better choice.
Yeah, for most foreign buyers, those options are simpler and more straightforward.
Right.
Less to worry about.
So it seems like navigating this whole Samui property market,
Yeah.
it's tricky,
It can be.
even with all these different options.
Definitely, it's not always easy.
So this is where a good real estate agent comes in.
Absolutely. Someone who knows the local market.
Right, and the laws.
Exactly. Someone who can guide you through the process.
That's why we're looking at Ocean Worldwide.
Yeah, they've been in Phuket and Koh Samui for almost 20 years.
They've been around for a while.
Yeah, they have a really good reputation for helping people find properties.
And they focus on luxury.
Yeah, the luxury residential market.
So they must really understand what foreign buyers need.
Oh, definitely. They deal with this all the time.
Right, and their director, Sandra O'Neill,
Yeah.
she's helped thousands of clients.
Wow. That's a lot of experience.
And she's known for being really dedicated to her clients.
That's great.
So it seems like they would be a good resource for anyone who's thinking about buying property in Koh Samui.
Yeah, if you're serious about buying property there,
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend reaching out to them.
So to kind of wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Okay.
it's clear that buying property in Koh Samui, especially as a foreigner,
Mm-hmm.
requires a lot of thought.
You can't just jump into it.
No, you need to plan carefully.
Right. Do your research.
And no matter which option you're thinking about,
Condo leasehold, even the Thai Limited Company.
you need expert guidance.
It's essential.
So what are your thoughts? All right, so we've talked about the options and like how they work, but what about actually buying the property?
Right. The actual process.
Yeah, what do you have to do to make it happen?
Okay, so now's the exciting part.
Yep.
We know the legal stuff and the potential problems, but what about financing and negotiating and making sure everything's legit?
Right, all the practical stuff.
Exactly.
So can foreigners even get mortgages in Thailand?
Ah, that's a good question.
I feel like it's probably not that easy.
It can be tricky.
Yeah,
Thai banks, they're usually not too keen on lending to foreigners.
especially for land, I bet.
Yeah, especially for land.
So what can you do?
Well, some developers offer financing,
Oh,
specifically for condos.
so if you're buying a condo,
Yeah, check with the developer.
okay.
They might have some options.
What about other kinds of financing?
There are a few international banks that might consider foreigners,
Okay,
but you usually need a really good financial history.
right, and probably a big down payment.
Yeah, a substantial down payment for sure.
So it sounds like having cash up front is a good idea anyway.
It definitely doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
And remember, interest rates for foreigners are usually higher.
Oh, right.
And make sure you factor that into your budget.
Good point.
Okay.
Okay, so let's say you found the perfect property.
All right.
You're ready to make an offer.
Yeah.
What's it like negotiating in Thailand?
It's a little different.
How so?
Well, relationships and respect are really important in Thai culture.
Okay. So, aggressive bargaining.
Yeah.
That's not really the way to go.
So it's more about finding a solution that works for everyone.
Exactly. A win-win.
Right.
You need to be patient, understanding, willing to compromise.
Okay.
A good local agent can really help with this.
Oh, yeah. So
Right.
it's someone who understands how things work.
Exactly. Someone who can smooth things over.
Okay, so let's talk about due diligence.
Yeah. Making sure everything's legal and above board.
Right, how do you make sure you're not getting scammed?
Due diligence is crucial.
Yeah.
You need to verify that the property is legally sound, no hidden problems.
And that the seller can actually sell it.
Right, exactly. You don't want any surprises later on.
So where do you even start?
Well, a title search is a good first step.
What's that?
It basically checks the ownership history.
Okay.
Make sure there are no outstanding mortgages or anything like that.
So you need a lawyer for this too,
Oh, yeah. Definitely get a lawyer to look over everything.
especially the sale agreement.
Yeah, that's super important. Okay, what else should you check?
Well, it depends on the type of property. If it's a condo, check the building's management regulations.
Okay.
Look at their financial statements.
Why the financials?
You want to see how well the building is being run.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
And for leaseholds, obviously scrutinize that lease agreement.
Right, all the details we talked about before.
Exactly. The renewal terms, the extension options, what happens if the owner sells.
There's a lot to think about.
There is, but with the right team,
Right.
you can navigate all this stuff.
So you need a good agent, a good lawyer,
Yeah.
maybe even a property inspector,
It's all about minimizing risk.
and having peace of mind.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've learned a lot
We have
about the different ways to buy property in Koh Samui
the legal stuff, the financing,
Hmm.
the negotiations.
and how to make sure you're protected.
It's a lot to take in.
It is, but thanks to Ocean Worldwide
Yeah.
and their article, we've been able to break it all down.
They're really experts in this area.
Yeah, they know the luxury market inside and out.
And they know how to help foreign buyers.
So if you're serious about Koh Samui,
Yeah.
check out Ocean Worldwide.
Their website has tons of information.
Yeah, and their team is super helpful
They can answer all your questions.
and guide you through the whole process.
Yeah, exactly.
That wraps up our deep dive into real estate in Koh Samui.
Wow, we covered a lot of ground.
We did, but I hope it was helpful.
Yeah, I hope so too.
So owning a piece of paradise,
Yeah, the Koh Samui dream.
it's possible,
It is.
but do your research.
Right.
Get some expert advice.
And be excited, but also cautious.
Yeah, don't rush into anything.
It's a big decision.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Until next time, happy
Yeah.
property hunting.
Good luck, everyone.